before we get into the episode, we should mention,
right.
This is a bonus episode. Thank you very much to everybody who subscribed. We've listened to your feedback and our own guts, and unfortunately, we decided Coil didn't work out. So thank you so much
for sticking with it.
Yeah,
so we know it was confusing.
It was very confusing. There were hurt feelings on both sides.
It was,
well, that part wasn't true.
I mean, it was bewildering. We would just we would log in without getting too into the details. We would for a minute we were like, okay, maybe we can make this work. And then when it rolled over to the next month, we were like, what's happening? Where has all of our money gone?
Yeah, we got to admit, folks, we don't know where your money went.
We have no idea.
Yeah, you still got the episodes. So we don't feel we cheated you in that way, but good gosh, has this been baffling.
It's just been really confusing. It's so funny. I went to download Puma just so I could get it on my browser so that I could log in and stuff. And when you download the app Puma, it says 0 ratings. And I'm like, oh, so nobody's using this.
Zero people have...
I think the only people using Puma are the people listening to Coward Hour.
Yeah, it very much is weird for a startup from a billionaire to put all its chips on Coward Hour.
Yeah.
That was I gotta say, terrible business decision. But anyway, all this is to say that we have a Patreon now, Coward Hour, or you can go to cowardhour.com and get the link, or it's just patreon.com/Coward Hour. If you, do still have a month left on Coil, we are going to post the next 4 or 5 episodes on this feed still, and they'll be up on the Hard Times as normal. So you'll still be able to get what you paid for, but after that, it'll be all on Patreon.
Yeah, and if you want that, there's still incentive, because if you want those first 50, the forbidden episodes of Coward Hour, the episode except for one, which is just locked away.
Yeah, because the guest does not like us anymore.
No, but most of the original first season of Coward Hour, you can now finally hear if you're new to the show. That was back when we were watching way too many recommended videos on YouTube.
It was It's a lot like the first season of Parks and Rec, where you're like, I can see what this will be.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we were both very sick-brained boys.
There's a lot of feeling it out in those first 50 episodes.
A lot of feeling it out.
But those are available to you. There's 3 different tiers, and there might be, as more things happen, maybe eventually we'll have different rewards for the 3 different tiers. But
right now everybody gets the stuff. Yeah. We weren't trying to lock it away or anything.
It's just about how much you love us, how much you're willing to give,
how much you're willing to give to God's army to secure your place in heaven. But yes, thank you so much for your continued support and listening. It's crazy that anybody listens to this, especially because I went back myself because someone in the Discord convinced me that I said the N-word on episode 25.
No, you didn't say the N-word.
They were pranking me, and it some might say it says something about me, the fact that I thought maybe I did.
Yeah.
So I listened to it back, and I was like, man, I don't know if this was my first episode, I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, I think look,
it felt like back when you would watch cable and you would just watch an episode of a show. No one does that anymore. But I was like, ooh, this is a rough episode of How I Met Your Mother that I caught on DBS.
Right. Well, look, it's like when you buy the Dylan box set and you get an entire disc worth of demos and unfinished takes. It's like, check it out. Right, it's there for archival purposes.
Yeah, it's like
there.
Tapes from the attic or whatever.
Yeah,
it's like this is from Warner Brothers. They threw this shit. This was not in a fucking attic.
Yeah, they reached out to Bob Dylan to do some new tracks. He said no, so they panicked and just threw in a bunch of reel-to-reel tapes.
Yeah. It's fun. I'm making fun of that. Meanwhile, I am listening to this podcast that all it does is there's interviews and stuff, but a good half of every episode is they just play each individual track from the 16 tracks of a Grateful Dead song.
Nice.
And they're like, listen to this one. Yeah, you never really realized that was a symbol until you really isolate it.
Dude,
and I'm just like, wow.
when I was really into the Misfits, we'll start the episode in a second. But when I was really into the Misfits, I got really obsessed with downloading all of like the unmastered mix downs from like different sessions, and I would just like put these unmastered mix downs of songs from like Walk Among Us on mix CDs, and people, they sound terrible. They're blown out. There's a lot of tape hiss. Everything's warbled, and people will be like, "What the fuck is this?" I'm like, "No, this is the best version of the song."
Yeah, the camera pans over to you, and you're wearing corpse paint.
It's a horrible way to get people into the Misfits, but
terrible way.
Maybe if you're a completist, maybe you'll love a lot of people love those early episodes, which, you know, I guess
God love you.
Yeah, sure. I guess I believe you.
Yeah. But yeah, I remember Misfits came to the Chameleon Club in Lancaster, and me and my friend Lee went, not because we were super into the Misfits, but just because we were like, oh, I bet there will be like punk girls there that we can maybe talk to. And my friend Kelly, she was like, you already know all the punk girls. Like, it's a very small town.
You're not gonna. You might meet some punk milfs.
You've made a bad impression on every punk girl in Lancaster. You have gotten drunk and they've seen your penis. You peed too close to where everyone was hanging out. It was like a bonfire, and you like went to pee, but you really misjudged how far away you were, and you're just peeing with a cigarette in your mouth.
Did you used to announce that you were peeing almost as a way of flirting? Like, ladies, in case you were wondering, I'm about to go do something with my cock. Just letting you know I do. Just letting you know I do have a functional cock. I will be using it to piss.
Just so you know, I do have a penis.
Yeah, just so you know, I do have a cock that can piss on you.
Yeah, I had a different friend from back then who he would get caught at parties standing too near to the bathroom listening to the girls pee.
Jesus Christ, Brendan.
But, you know, this was pre-Me Too and everything, so everyone was just like, Dave. And he's like, ah.
Oh, he would do that.
Yeah.
I thought you said we would do that.
No, not...
Okay.
No.
Right. No. Okay, good. No. Okay, yeah. Then I'm way less upset about what you said. I'm way less upset. I was like, yeah, fuck it. That's weird, Dave.
No, I was like 23. I was still able to like get hard at just the concept of vanilla sex. That's a journey. Like, I feel like any man, you're on the internet long enough, you're going to dabble in piss stuff.
Yeah, sure. I mean, dude, you walk this earth long enough, you might dabble in piss stuff.
Yeah, if you just walk the earth like Jules at the end of Pulp Fiction, you're going to stumble upon a yellow river.
You will eventually be like, I do like the sound it makes, though.
Yeah.
Like, that sound is kind of hot, that hot hissing sound.
Well, my friend Dave, he theorized that his name's not Dave. I've been making this up.
Sure.
Yeah, he theorized. He was like, well, it's hot because it's the first time in your life you learn about the difference between men and women is how they pee. Like when you're a kid,
right?
That's your first real.
That's
like,
why it's hot.
You know,
so things are hot. I guess I'm just trying to follow. It's funny. That's just very telling. I guess that just tells a lot about him. I guess.
Yeah.
Like, however
I just
wired.
realized saying his name isn't Dave makes it sound like this is me again. It's not.
Swim, someone who isn't me.
So my friend Dave is a pedophile, not me.
Yeah, no, but I get it. What he means, like, it's formatively, it's the first time he thought about a pussy in like a concrete way, right? Yeah. That they're different. But why does something being different make you want to fuck it? Like, it's funny that that's the inherent justification. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like you could
they sit down to do this.
Yeah, right?
Interesting.
You could use that justification for anything. It's like, well, yeah, it's like the first time you realize that like dogs walk on 4 legs and we walk on 2, and it's just like hot. It's really hot because it's different. You know.
Well, I've always said that, like, you know, before gay marriage was like legalized and everything. Yeah. The cliche argument that every comedian had a bit about was like, oh man, what, like, next they're gonna start fucking dogs? Like, I was hoping.
Yeah, totally. I gay marriage passed, and I was already like, well, how many years till I get to fuck trains? How many?
Yo, I saw an article. Joe Biden is trying to like revitalize trains in America, and I was like, well, as a single issue voter, you got me.
You flipped me.
As a Lancaster County native,
you have completely got me on board with Joe Biden.
Look, my girlfriend gave me a train calendar.
Damn, dude, I did not notice that.
Like way early in the relationship. Like she had just felt out how autistic I was.
And that calendar's been up there. That calendar's almost done.
It almost is.
Wow, dude, you've had that calendar for a minute. I'm just saying that's real.
So let's see. It's been a year. So we met in November, and then by January 1st, she was like, oh, this guy likes trains.
Definitely. You'd give off a big train. I mean, trains are great because I think we might have talked about this before. Trains, we love a track. There's such an order to wheels on a track. The train is going right where it's supposed to go. Now, at times, the train has a choice, but there's no... The train doesn't surprise you, right? Or if the train surprises you, it's a huge problem, and it wasn't supposed to happen. But there's no trains doing anything ridiculous, like, anything disorderly like donuts. Imagine a train doing a donut. I would be steamed.
I would be flabbergasted, to say the least.
I would be furious if I saw a train do it. Yeah, the wheels, it's the way the wheels fit onto the track. It's so autistic.
It doesn't look like it should work.
Yeah, but
you're
works.
Like, so there's no rubber?
None at all.
On the wheels?
Yeah, isn't that fucking crazy?
And that's good?
It's great. People love it.
Well, how many wheels does it have? 4? No, it has endless wheels.
Yeah, the wheels don't stop. And they fit right into place. I think I really do love the idea of a track. I know where it's going. I can see. You know what I mean?
God, I love a train. I saw Snowpiercer, and I was like, send me there.
Yeah, please. Yeah, no, the true villain of Snowpiercer, you think that Chris Evans is the hero, but then he flips the damn train, and you're like, oh, what a twist.
How could he betray the train like that? His oldest friend.
Yeah. Yeah, that kid was helping the train. Why did Chris Evans pull him out of there? He had the greatest job in the world, which was to be the heart of the train.
God, if I could be a living part of the train.
Yes.
If I could live as an organ of a train.
Yeah, I can't tell you.
Of a big, scary train that speaks to me inside my head.
Since I was a boy, I've wanted to be absorbed by a train. I begged doctors to make me an organ transplant for a train. Almost knocked your lamp over.
Yeah, and until that movie came out, no one knew what the fuck I was talking about.
Right, yeah. Yeah,
and frankly, they gave me a lot of pills when I would talk about
it. Yeah, trains whip ass, dude.
Yeah, they fucking rule.
They kick so much ass.
I can't wait to have our own.
Joe Biden said he's going to bring trains back?
Yeah, he's going to like try to revitalize trains. I think it's like a long form of transport, between cities.
Unfortunately, I'm really getting into the new conspiracy of the Great Reset, which is a right-wing conspiracy theory, but I've been looking into it. Have you seen it?
I would like a little bit more of a preamble before that.
Oh yeah, no.
How about a little bit more of a disclaimer?
So have you noticed
we got to start being a little bit responsible when we're on this podcast. So I've been getting into this far right conspiracy theory.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's a far right conspiracy theory, but it's objectively weird. Like it's because it's not based in nothing. It's the World Economic Forum, which is an actual forum that meets. They've laid out this thing where they talk about they label it as the Great Reset, and world leaders all across the world, like Justin Trudeau, just released a video today talking about the Great Reset, and Canada's slogan is Build Back Better, the same as Joe Biden's slogan, Build Back Better. In the UK, Boris Johnson is using the slogan Build Back Better, and they're all talking about the Great Reset, which is like this proposition that was laid out by the World Economic Forum that by 2030 they want to be cashless. And this is not against, this is on the, you can go read this, go to the World Economic Forum and read what they've laid out. And they literally, they've got this smiling guy on the front of this, the page where they're laying out this proposition, and it's him smiling, and the caption says, "It's 2030, I don't own anything, and I'm much happier." And I'm just like,
it's fucking Pip Boy.
It's literally Pip Boy. So Joe Biden. So anyway, one of the cornerstones is they want to revitalize public transportation. They want people to mainly rent the things they use. They don't want people to own cars. All this shit that Alex Jones talks about. Now,
which I'm mostly fine with.
Yeah, that's my thing. I was creeped out by all this stuff initially, and then when I was truly thought about what they were proposing, I'm like, I think that's okay.
I would love.
I think it's good.
I mean, I would be happy to rent time on a car that cannot be hacked.
Right? Yeah, rent time on a car that can't be just not be on the hook. I mean, I would still like the option to own things because, like, on one end, where that gets scary is because I'm a precious...
yeah, like, obviously, it should be like a luxury, like an attainable luxury to own a car. Mm-hmm. But, like, how I own a car, and that's like thousands of dollars that sit in my garage that I use a couple times a week. I'm just curious to know what their solution is, because if it's them working with the tech companies to push the gig economy even further. I know, well, and that's where I'm like, okay, well, this sucks because like they've already have this thing in LA. I don't know if it's still. I saw it pre-COVID. They probably died with COVID, but it was a rideshare app where you literally like rent your car out to people who use it throughout the day, and you sign your car up with the service. Anybody can come use it. They leave it anywhere within a certain radius of the city, and then it'll be returned to you at a certain point. You can do the same thing with garage space. And there's a part of me that's like, now here's the thing: if this was how everything worked and we had universal health care, I would be a little less pissed about it, right? Yeah,
because somebody's taking. I'm not literally.
Well, they're gonna gig economy health care where it's like you can rent a kidney for 6 hours.
Yeah, it'll be that movie Repo.
I haven't seen it.
Or they'll gig economy healthcare where it's like you get task rabbited, but for like surgery, you get a ping. It's like WAG, but instead of walking dogs.
Yeah, we're podcasting. You're like, you just put the mic down. You're like, I gotta fucking do a triple bypass.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, I really need to make rent.
Yeah, I gotta make $30 doing a triple bypass. Anyway, look, me going down this rabbit hole, I try to be very measured about it. Mm-hmm. I think there's somewhere in the middle where it's like, okay, there's clearly some great thrust for something going on that's being coordinated. I don't know if it's as bad as, but maybe it is. Brendan, you know what, dude? I'm just taking in information, dude. Objectively.
That's all we can do.
That's all we can do. I'm just taking in information, processing it. I'll ponder it for a few days, and then eventually I'll have a take. And will that take be right? Don't ask me that.
No one's to say. Yeah.
No one's to say.
Dude, I as an experiment, I don't know why I did this because I now need the $50, but
Oh, wow.
I put $50 on Robinhood just to be like, all right, let's see what all the hubbub is about. And I've been like following stocks for the last couple days, and I'm like, this should absolutely be illegal.
The stock market, market,
like if I can't have a poker game without like having a license. Jesus Christ. Like, this is insane.
Well, especially because, like, the way, like, I was talking with my dad about how people who buy into the stock market, like boomers, because you're like, well, it changes literally based on nothing. He's like, well, the stock market's supposed to be predictive, son. It's like, it'll skyrocket or nosedive based on, like, gossip. Like that's all that it takes to tank the stock market is, like, juicy gossip about Elon Musk.
I heard that Elon Musk got a blowjob behind the bleachers.
Sell! Yeah, dude, it is fucking retarded. So I guess, yeah, as freaked out as I get about this, it's not like the established systems aren't completely failing.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like, oh, cashless. That sounds scary, but then you remember money's fake.
Money's completely fake. I'm just fearful of somebody.
They're gonna now if they come to my house and they steal my gold and they turn it into ones and zeros, I'm gonna be fucking pissed.
Right, or somebody drawing or assuming that the cashless economy, if the government has unfettered access to everybody's accounts, which they probably will, but again, is that like a left or right wing thing, or is that just something that governments want to do so they can get their money from because there's a lot of tax evasion? I'm wary of the idea of them just being able to suck money out of my account when I owe it. You know what I mean? Because that's my money. What if I don't want to pay? I hate paying.
You're like Trump.
I'm like you, dude.
You're like Trump, but with zero leverage. So you're just like, I ordered a sandwich and I will not pay. They're like, okay, then we'll throw you in jail.
I'm just like, no.
You're like, look, if you owe the bank a sandwich, that's their problem. But
right.
if you owe the bank 100 sandwiches, they're like, we can still afford to take you down on this.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. I'm sure that all this stuff is happening. We're hurtling towards a very strange future, and I think I'm just resisting it. I want to go back to the 90s, dude.
Oh God, man, I am so upset about the world right now,
dude. I hate the future. You know, I've gotten really into. I've been watching. This is embarrassing. I've been watching like old TNT bumps from like 2002, just like hour-long compilations of just like, just between shows TNT bumps.
This is like even more autistic than trains.
Way more. Dude, getting into the minutia, like developing an appreciation for like distinct eras of programming blocks. I can tell you about all my favorite eras of Cartoon Network programming blocks and the different aesthetics that correspond to them. And I shouldn't be able to do that.
Remember when everything was hosted from a ship?
Yeah. Like, do you understand that at my age, my father, like, my mom had me. My father and my mother had started their family, and I'm just like creating a playlist of like the best McDonald's commercials. Like, I'm spending like 2 hours every afternoon doing that. It's pretty bad stuff. Yeah, we really did fuck up. But I mean, we had no choice. No, we had no choice.
Yeah.
There was no version.
I can't afford a baby now.
Yeah, no, there was no version of us at 27 where we were going to be able to start a family.
None at all.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we work shit jobs, and then our friends who don't, for the most part, are also fucked.
Yeah.
Because they owe so much money, it's basically like they're getting paid minimum wage.
Yeah, although now Papa Joe and Chuck Schumer say they might forgive all student debt.
Which, I mean, everybody's like, oh, well, what about... It's like, fine, do it. Like, I'm in college now, and... Yeah. Some people would be like, oh, man, so you're telling me I could have gone when I was younger and all this money would have been forgiven? It's like, yeah, but we just got to move past.
Yeah, dude, I mean, because, again, it's almost like a Republican mindset. Like, the people who are conservative who are saying that, it's like, well, that's not fair to me. It's like, well, that's the exact mindset that you've looked at the entirety of American history with, of like, everybody's not the same. Some people luck out.
Yeah.
It's like, shut up. You'll be fine. You were able to pay it off.
Like renowned pedophile Mahatma Gandhi said, lighting your candle does not make mine burn dimmer.
Exactly. Wow, what a spiritual thing to say.
Yeah, and he said that while in a young girl's ass. So,
did he?
I was there. I know.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I was writing it down.
I didn't know that you hung out with... Oh, wow, you were the one who was writing the scripture of Gandhi?
Yeah, I was
nice.
in the room with him. And because his hands were full. So he couldn't use the pen.
Brendan, please. Brendan Crick, please come in. Oh my goodness, I am so busy. Please, Brendan, listen to what I say. And you're just like, what are you doing with the... He's like, no. Close your eyes. Open your ears. Close your eyes, open your ears. That was the first time Gandhi said that famous phrase. Close your eyes and open your ears.
Because he was a big sound hound.
He was.
Yeah, Gandhi really was the first Baby Gerald's Facebook guy.
He really was.
Gandhi would have been wilding out on Facebook. Man. Just imagine the statuses.
Oh my God, hello. It's just like...
British Empire is no longer best friend.
Oh my fucking God, dude. Hello, baby. It is so funny that like Indian dudes will just like, they will somehow find just women from my hometown and just like, I don't know how they're, I guess they're just friend requesting them. I don't know how they're ending up on these profiles, but you will just see Indian dudes just commenting from like across the globe, just, oh my God, please. Just please, oh my God, hello.
Yeah, they're Robin Williams. But yeah. Oh, hello. I love that shit. One time I saw, so it was, sometimes you'll get friend requested by just like a porn star.
Yes.
But like not real. Obviously, it's a bot. And they're just like posting porn on the timeline.
Yes.
And I clicked on one of these and I was like, oh, I got to know what's going on here. Because the bot had like a bunch of friends. And one of the comments under one of these like gangbang videos was just this Indian guy like is that you?
Or they're just posting their phone numbers. Just like posting all their contact information.
Yeah. They're posting the number to some fax machine in India. That has like 20 horny men all jerking off around it, waiting for like a selfie to come through.
Well, it's so funny. You talk about posting porn on Facebook, and it's like I had this realization. I was scrolling. Sometimes I scroll my feed, and if anybody who listens to this who's done open mic comedy or like did open mic comedy in the East Coast, if you've ever wondered like what those local headliners who you drove to shows, who like came into town, who you drove to a bar show, who spent 3 hours giving you comedy advice that you didn't ask for, if you've ever like wondered what they're doing now, they're posting porn directly to Facebook. That is. There is this guy, Gordon Baker Bone. I don't give a fuck. I'll say his name.
Oh,
yeah. Do you know him too?
That guy actually is really funny.
That's what's crazy. He is funny.
Yeah.
He's a funny guy, but he literally just posts pictures of like fat white chicks, just like how bad you want to hit this? Yeah. Would you fuck her? Would you fuck this bitch? Tell me if you would fuck her. It's that, and he also posts.
Black people love asking questions on Facebook.
They love posing. I mean, they're like the modern day Greek philosophers. They're just posing questions to their many followers, like Socrates.
Yeah, this guy walk in the club and slap your girl's ass. What you do?
It's the allegory of the cave, but it's just a big ass butt. Like, projected onto the cave.
It's kind
wall.
of a dicey metaphor if the black guys are chained up like the.
Oh, are they chained up in that?
I think so.
Well, I didn't know. All the same.
Dude,
all the same. But the other thing he does is this guy Gordon Baker Bone always posts every time an adult teacher fucks one of her students from anywhere in the country. Sometimes in other countries, he's just like, damn, it's happening again. Like, he's obsessed with this. And it's just like, what? It's weird that he just like, why do you have to post? The urge to post is so strong. With like,
how many likes are these getting?
I think like 10 at the most. It's not like there's any real significant dopamine reward when he posts this stuff. He's just like, he wakes up, he's like, yeah, I have to post on Facebook. Mm-hmm. Would you fuck this white bitch? And I have to let people know whenever.
He probably puts his phone down, doesn't pick it back up for 3 days. He is not addicted to the likes.
He's just clocking in. He's like, no, I'm doing this for world consciousness.
Yeah, this is black QAnon. It's just he's dropping photos of fat white chicks. And everyone's like, what does this mean? Yeah. They're trying to decode it.
Yeah, he's just dropping a photo of like a fat white chick getting her ass eaten, and he's just like, pay attention, y'all. He's just like goddamn Gordon Baker Bone.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
Yeah,
he's a funny
is.
guy.
I remember so me and I think it was Lemaire and Nate Marshall, we went to the Stress Factory. And this was one of my looks phases. So I was wearing like a necklace. Nice. And my comedy was horrible. I was horrible at comedy.
Sure.
So I go up, I do my set at the open mic, bomb really bad. And then Gordon Baker Bone comes up and like he would just instantly win the crowd 100% back. Like he would kill in between every comic.
Right.
And he wasn't even doing the thing where you're like doing time in between the comics.
Right.
His hosting was so funny. And I think it was after me, or it could have been someone else, but he went up, he's like, all right, this next comic is 100% semen. Please welcome. And the crowd instantly forgot about me. And I remember just driving home after bombing so bad, and I looked at Nate and Lemaire, I'm like, was it the necklace? And they're like, yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
I made them stop at a sheet so I could throw it in a trash can.
It's crazy when one outfit choice tanks your whole set.
Which can happen. Especially in that like middle area where it's like you're not good, but you can sometimes do well.
You can trick them. But if there's something on your body that's too distracting, you can't pull the wool over their eyes. They realize that you suck from your choices.
I did a lot of tucked in shirt sets that way.
Oh.
Honestly, I think that's how I got funny is I was dressing like a fucking weirdo. I wear like orange skinny jeans with like an ironic t-shirt like tucked into it.
Oh, what kind of ironic t-shirt? Like a t-shirt with a joke on it?
No, just like it'd be semi-ironic. It'd be like something I like, but is lame.
Right.
It'd be like a Willie Nelson t-shirt or something.
Right, yeah.
And then I would have the trucker hat, big hipster glasses, and I would go up in front of these like rural, like middle-aged crowds, and they hated me.
Yeah,
they're like, this reminds me of my gay son. Next.
Well, you have this impulse when you're a young new comic. You have this impulse to almost have an outfit that's like emblematic of like all these things about you, and it's like that's the worst thing you can do.
Yeah.
You should go up in a nondescript outfit so that they have like no preconceived notions about you whatsoever.
Yeah, I would always have a better set when I came straight from work.
Totally. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I think like learning to get a crowd like that on my side. Then when I stopped dressing like a retard, it was like I lifted the weight off.
You're Piccolo taking off the armor, dude.
Yeah.
Now you're ready to fight.
That's what it was, taking off my suit and Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, it drops to the ground like it weighs 500 pounds.
And I'm just nude.
Yeah, there's a crater in the stage.
You know how there's a while ago, I guess it was like, it probably stopped with me too, right? When people do like naked comedy shows.
Joe Pettis did the underwear comedy show. There were also naked comedy shows. There was a Baltimore comic, Matt Mahaffey, who would just get naked at regular open mics. Which I'm sure like we were at the Havana. I'm trying to remember.
At the very least, you're breaking the health code.
Exactly. Yeah, we were at like Havana's in Baltimore. I think it was called Havana's. I can't remember. And he would just like gradually take all his fucking clothes off until his cock was in his hands, and he was like doing comedy. People loved it. People could not get enough of this guy.
I heard a story. I think Josh Caderna told it to me. I think it happened to him or one of the other guys from like that Chuckle Storm show. Mm-hmm. Where, if I remember this correctly, I do this all the time on the show. I tell like a third-hand story that I'm sure if the person's listening,
they're like,
know
this story.
They're like, one, why are you telling this? Two, it's wrong.
Right, but go on.
But they were doing a bit where like they kept threatening to show the guy's dick like throughout the show, right. And then like at the very end, he turned around and he's like, I'm going to show you my dick. And he turned around and the gag was that he had just his balls out. Which to me is very funny, but it apparently bombed.
Yeah, definitely. Well, dude, even like, it's funny, even like the woke, like Wham, there was some Wham City Theater show that I think they put on in the early 10s or maybe the late aughts where like, I think it was Dan, I can't remember. You could never get away with this now, but the whole gag was they were doing like a parody of an episode of Home Improvement where like one of the sons dies and somebody runs in holding the dead son's body, like interrupting the scene, like interrupting the Tim Allen character. And every night they did it. Like one night he did it in his underwear or shirt off, then in his underwear, then totally nude. And they decided that like the funniest thing would be for the last night for him to come out completely erect, holding the son's body. It was a really different time. Wham City,
even hearing about it is funny.
Yeah, Wham City would not do that now. And so whoever was doing it had to like
send me back. Just imagine if we had the chops we have now then. Like, if we were 28-year-old men in, like, 2010...
Absolutely.
We would have done it.
It's the fantasy everybody has. But, yeah, apparently that, like, backstage, they were trying... And I don't remember who it was. I think it was, like, a stage manager or something. But they had pulled up porn on one of their phones so that the guy could get hard right before he runs out holding the kid. And so he's masturbating.
Who was he holding?
I don't.
Was it a dummy or was it a person?
It was a real person. I don't want to use the. I know all the names of the people in Wham City. Like I think that like maybe Mason was. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, this was a different comedy troupe, right?
Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't think it was the. Actually,
it wasn't Wham City. It was a different group of people with different names.
Right. I actually think, for whatever it's worth, I think it was different. I don't even know if it was Wham City Comedy. I think it was like the Wham City Collective. Look, it does. This is a bonus episode. I don't care. This happened. You're not going to get me on.
I was trying to help you, but no, I'm glad that we're doing this.
I'm living in.
Yeah. My dad subscribes to Coil. As far as I know, he doesn't know about the Patreon yet. So we have a good couple weeks.
Oh, let's get him on the Patreon, dude. Let's get him on there.
Get Chuck Crick on the Patreon.
We need to get old Chucky Crick on the Patreon. Anyway, it just wouldn't happen now. Is my point. Like there was so much crazy shit in those old like when alt comedy was like.
Hey, what if we all raped?
Yeah, what if we pretended to, what if we all accused each other of rape and then played a video of us simulated raping each other, but like, you know, it was like a bawdy, audacious gag. There was a lot of alt comedy that was very like sexually aggressive.
Yeah, it's true. Because it's theater kids.
Right, exactly. Yes, exactly. You are on the money.
Damn, I've been watching Chappelle's Show, which I never really watched all of.
It's great.
And it's great, and also like you think of comedy like us and like rough podcasts and like really offensive podcasts and stuff, and I have this tendency to think of it as like something that never could have been on TV, and then I watch Chappelle's Show and I'm like, oh, this is the same as Come Town.
Have you seen?
And it was. Everyone loved it.
Yeah, dude. Do you remember New York boobs?
Yeah.
New York.
There are so many bits on Chappelle's Show that's just rape.
That are so stupid. New York boobs is so funny, and it's not a sketch.
No.
It is not written at all.
I love that halfway through he gets Joe Rogan with him because he must have been running into problems.
Yeah, Joe Rogan does nothing in that whole sketch.
Yeah, he's just like, Joe, I need a famous person.
Those are some I don't even know what voice he's doing. Those are some great New York boobs.
Yeah. Well, so he's always pretending to be like a gay guy, I guess.
Well, the Chappelle Show, the greatest thing about Chappelle Show is because all the laughs were recorded, because they just showed those sketches and then the laughs were recorded live.
Yeah.
Everybody's laughing like the dumbest jokes, but there are incredible jokes on Chappelle's Show that get nothing. Where the
Same
audience,
with Mr. Show.
Yeah, the audience just doesn't laugh at all, and you're like, damn, this was so ahead of its time.
See, no sketch show does that now, because like if they put whatever like bullshit like sketch shows are on now in front of an audience, they're just gonna like clap.
Right, yeah, they'd be like, what? Yeah, like fucking what, Baroness von Sketch Show or whatever the fuck. Like,
yeah.
Well, I actually really liked that. Have you watched The Birthday Boys yet?
Some, but I really need to watch all of it.
Season 2 is incredible. I like that The Birthday Boys has no laugh track. It's actually, and I saw them live when season 2 was airing. They were fucking hilarious. They completely lived up to the hype.
Yeah,
and nobody knows who any of those guys are. They've all got like something like less than 10,000 followers on Twitter. I'm sure that they're working like driving Uber and shit. Like, it's brutal,
criminal.
Dude. It's crazy.
Yeah, Chappelle's Show, like the very first, like, because on Netflix it's uncensored. It was not when it aired.
No.
So the very first sketch, a woman's boob pops out and it's just uncensored.
Oh, they show it?
On Netflix, they show it.
Oh.
So I'm like, I bet that actress didn't sign a form about that.
Yeah, later on, probably.
Yeah.
Or she did. She didn't know.
Was it uncensored on the DVDs? I don't remember.
I would have. Yeah, maybe. Probably it was.
Yeah, but like, that's how Wild Comedy Central was back then. Like, if you're a woman, your titty pops out on a sketch, that is owned for perpetuity.
Yeah. Well,
sorry, bitch. That titty is trademarked. Viacom.
Comedy Central put fucking Mind of Mencia on the air. The trademark gag of that show was him doing the retard hand dee thing. Like, yeah, that was how they advertised it.
Bad show, bad gag, but like, I bet you caught me the right moment. I'd laugh at that.
Oh yeah. Well, it made me laugh because I was rewatching the Mind of Mencia DVD ad, and they advertise it as the Mind of Mencia DVD. I was like, all right. I was like, okay, you got me,
dude. Like, these sketches, like they're also funny, but also like the great moments in hookup history sketches.
Phenomenal.
100% date rape. Yeah. All of them. Every single one is like a guy like forcing shots down a woman's throat and like pouring his own in a plant.
Yeah. Well, did you know that the N-word family was written by Nick Kroll and Mike Birbiglia?
No, I didn't. That's in the episode that I was about to watch.
What a 180 those guys did. But I
don't think of. I haven't seen Big Mouth, but I haven't seen either of them do like woke comedy. They do like, Birbiglia does like thoughtful one-man play stuff, but I've never seen him do like.
Have you kept up with Birbiglia's Twitter?
No.
Birbiglia is he's a huge like woke resistance lib.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he tweets at the president like every day. Yeah, he's like a Krasenstein or a fucking like. Or
honestly, I would rather that than him like do a Sacha Baron Cohen and like pretend that some like shitty girl comic is funny.
No, he does that too.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, Brendan, he does. He.
Yeah, all our heroes. God damn.
But it's Tim said this in the chat. He's like, man, I get why Chappelle hated his show. Like this, like the fact that this sketch was written by fucking Kroll and Birbiglia, just like this. Which does kind of change it a little bit. It's like, oh, that's weird. And also, like, what is the N-word family even about? Just their name it's very funny.
I haven't seen it. But yeah, that is weird. Also, like, did he hire the writers? Like,
I'm pretty sure that Brennan Birbiglia brought Kroll on because he did the college that he met Kroll through Mulaney at the college that Kroll was attending, so he brought him on to like help with that sketch, I think. And Brennan probably knew Birbiglia, but. Also, the other point I was going to make is it's also worth noting that like when Dave talks about walking away from the show because like people were laughing at it the wrong way, Chappelle's show when it was on was Wowo's favorite show, and he was not watching it for the social commentary angle.
Yeah, I mean, there are sketches on there that are like, you know, like woke funny. Like obviously, like there's a lot of stuff about like racism and stuff.
Right.
But also there is a lot of like, oh, this is a really funny racist gag.
Oh yeah, dude. When black people spend all their reparations in like 2 weeks,
yeah,
it's so fucking funny.
Who's that fucking? It's a bonus episode. That fucking piece of shit, Brody Reed.
Oh yeah,
yeah, fucking loser. Went up after me. I did a show. I did my Black Ambush joke, which has always killed. It has never not done well.
It's a great joke.
Once. Great joke. And he goes out after me and like complains about it. Oh. And then his closer is reading a fucking list of opinions where like the crowd just claps if it's a good opinion and like boos if it's a bad opinion.
Yeah.
You fucking hack. You fucking loser.
Oh, yeah.
No, dude. You went after who was the guy you went after?
Oh, Adam Newman.
Oh yeah, Adam Newman. I get one. Fucking Brody Reed, you fucking loser.
Nice.
And
dude.
He did
wow, yeah,
fucking begging on Twitter for donations because you didn't get your $1 million inheritance yet.
He has $1 million inheritance?
I'm sure he has more than that. Like, also, the gall of writing a movie about what if black people got reparations when, motherfucker, you got yours.
Brendan.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, living in a house you own at fucking, like...
Holy shit. Yeah. Dude, that's the case with all these fucking people. And, like...
Yeah, it's someone with rich parents who's never faced a day of adversity in their life. And then they're like, actually, racism is bad. Now, I've never interacted with a cop because I've never, left an Ivy League university. But
right, yeah. No, I've interacted with private security, and they were all very nice to me. But, no, it's like...
The doorman at my building in Manhattan is very nice. Yeah. But I assume...
I can't support these blue lives, dude. I'll support gray lives only. Gray doorman matter. But, so here's the thing, like... I was thinking about this the other day. It really, because I actually do think there's some credence, I think, to the idea of like recognizing crazy shit this country's done. Reparations, like we gave it to the fucking Native Americans. Like it's crazy that it's not even on the table.
No, obviously, like the older I get, the more I upset and ashamed I am of like the education I got in high school, where like I left high school thinking like, yeah, the 60s were a really bad time, but civil rights happened and everything's pretty much better now.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, oh no, things are almost not better at all.
Yeah, the minute the Jeffersons were on TV, racism was over, right? Like, yeah. But to your point,
watching the Proud Boys like rioting, and rioting on their own, because. Yeah. Like, obviously, there's some or whatever in any, like, big group like that, but, like, a lot of the Black Lives Matter riots were police instigating it and then using it as an excuse to crack skulls.
Right, exactly.
But the Proud Boys are just fighting journalists. Yeah. And suddenly the cops don't have pepper spray and, like, shields anymore.
Yeah, well, we can't do anything. Yeah, it's but to your point about the it's ironic. And there are a lot of valid reasons for reparations. It's just ironic that, like, the loudest people about it and the loudest people about fucking identity politics, which is largely meaningless to like actual working class people. Like that's not a concrete way of balancing inequality. Keeping. No. the loudest people about it are people whose parents pay for their fucking Silver Lake apartments. People who, like you said, have never faced a day of true adversity in their life. And sure, your experience going through the world in a color of skin other than white is bound to be different. But wealth really fucking closes that gap, dude. It really does.
It really does.
And so anyway, yeah, I get pissed off at that guy too. Mostly just because like to go up with no jokes and to demand attention and demand respect for like being fucking bad, like literally just like using your identity as a crutch to be like, you need to like me and I deserve success. It's like, fuck off, dude.
Yeah. Be funny.
Be funny. Be funny. Or just be a millionaire. Just shut up and be a millionaire.
If I was rich, like, I don't know. Like, if I was that rich and talentless, I would probably just keep to myself.
Totally. Dude, if I had $1 million...
I guess it comes from fucking when your parents are that rich, then you're always, you're begging for their attention because you're all pieces of shit together.
Yeah. Well, it's also just you really buy into the, like... The upper class. You're steamed.
I'm fired up.
but you buy into this like romanticized view of reality. That's really like when you're like upper middle class and your parents pay your way. It's like that fucking sign you have in your bathroom that Michael hung up. You're an individual. You only live once. This beautiful mantra that like you feel this sense of entitlement to like a protagonist's journey through the world of like, it needs to be okay for me in the end. I deserve everything to be catered to me 100% of the time. And when it's not, that's an injustice. It like completely blind to the fact that other people have it off way fucking worse than you. People, oftentimes like regardless of like, whatever race or ethnicity they are, it's like they're really blind to like class inequality in a way that's infuriating, or they claim to see it but don't. In no practical way do they demonstrate an understanding of it. Anyway,
no,
sorry, boy. We're both on one.
We are really on one. I don't know. I'm just. I don't know why. I really haven't been thinking about comedy that much.
Yeah, because look, Brendan.
But also, like, yeah, the reason it came up is like, yeah. Brody Reed fucking he like wrote a short film or something that everybody was like all like excited
about the reparations. I saw it.
Yeah. It's like, well, that was a Chappelle show and it was actually funny.
Right.
It was a sketch on Chappelle show.
And again, not knocking the notion of reparations, knocking the idea that we should
the idea of a rich man using it as his platform to get attention.
Right. Exactly. That this is the fucking person we're supposed to be listening to.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah, because honestly, like, I don't give a fuck. Like, if we give people reparations, kill Jeff Bezos and give his money to black people. I don't give a fuck.
Data dividend, dude. Where is it? Let's come on, dude. Let's dole it out. The Great Reset, buddy. Build back better. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Give me a every black person should get their own maglev train. I believe that.
We need to bring trains back, and they need to be owned exclusively by black business owners. Dude, we do so many death threats on this show now that so I'm watching this movie. It's really good. I'm like 10 minutes from the end. It's called The Day Shall Come, and it's by Chris Morris.
Hell yeah.
Hilarious British comedian who made Brass Eye and Jam. Two of my favorite comedy shows ever.
Yeah.
So fucking funny. And like all this stuff is satire. It's like really smart and like has a point to it and is pointing out inequality in society. And this movie that he does, it's about the FBI entrapping people into becoming terrorists, which I've read like is probably what happened with the Michigan guys. Yes. Which
two of them were entrapped.
Yeah, I hate to say it because like it's a weird. It's weird saying that when, like, then there's also footage of Proud Boys, like, fighting journalists in the street, where it's like, well, there is also organic right-wing violence that needs to fucking stop.
Well, I mean, look, the problem is there's the... what's the word I want to use? The reality of the situation in America, it's not really a two-sided thing. It is far more intricate and complex than I think a lot of people even want to deal with.
Well, like, the intelligence agencies are almost like a completely separate government that like doesn't even have the same...
And separate from each other.
Yeah.
Like the FBI and the CIA are rivals.
Yeah, and they don't have the same priorities as like Congress and fucking the Republicans.
Right.
They're...
Which is insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in this... So this this movie, it's about this group of hoteps, which like already I'm on board. It's a movie about these hotep guys who they have like this church of it's called like the 6-point star, and like the different stars are like Muhammad, Jesus, Black Santa, Malcolm X. Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah. It's a really funny movie and like really fucking good. But these guys, they basically, like the FBI, they need to make a bust, so they just go on Facebook. They find this guy who's like, in typical hotep fashion, going on Facebook Live with a sermon.
Oh, fuck yes, dude.
And they're like, okay, this guy. And they just like, they narrow in on him. They use informants who are like, the informants are like, one is a real terrorist that they flipped. One is a pedophile. And they use them, and they make them approach these guys who are like basically all talk, like and non-violent.
Right.
Because like they talk about like the revolution will come, but like we will not use weapons until the time comes, because that's how you like, you know, get cut down early or whatever.
Of course.
And they keep trying to sell them guns. They're like, no, we don't want guns. If you could give us like fertilizer and like seeds, we're trying to start a garden,
right?
Fence posts,
right?
And they pressure them into getting guns, and like they just keep taking it further and further. Where like they've basically invented a fictional terrorist attack for them to take down. I mean, for what? To keep their budget for next year, to get a good headline? The motive is so unclear.
Well, a lot of times it's...
But anyway, they're going to do that to us. Someone's going to slide in our DMs and be like, you want to kill Jeff Bezos? I'll get you some Patreon subscribers.
Well, with a lot of these CIA ops, it's not, the motive isn't clear because it's just one piece in shaping like a larger narrative that they want to push. That's the craziest thing about this shit, is like you don't even know where to come down. It's hard because when you acknowledge the fact that the Gretchen Whitmer kidnapping was some kind of inside job from the intelligence agencies, it makes having a take on it much harder, because you're like, well, okay, what do I?
You sound like you're in favor of it.
Exactly. No, truly, you two people, on liberals and people even on like the left, like the true progressive left, you sound like you're in favor of it when you're like, no, that's just what happened. Yeah. And it doesn't mean that I'm in support or against. Like, I'm not trying to contribute anything to the narrative about like whether or not, you know, like pro Trump or against Trump. It's just weird that this seems to be the case. Yeah.
I mean, it's so mysterious. Like the theory is that Epstein was an intelligence asset. It's like,
there's a lot of evidence that he was an intelligence asset.
Yeah, there's a ton of evidence, but it's like, who did they get from that?
Well, I mean, this is where, like, again, as I've said many times, I'm pretty sure that U.S. and world politics is just like a Mexican standoff of child porn. It's like, you get seriously, you get billionaires, politicians, and influential people into compromising situations. You document it so that they can never stray too far from the path that they're supposed to. I mean, boy, Conspiracy Nick is back. It's a bonus episode. But
dude, I just want to interject real quick. So I was, as I was going through all these old episodes and uploading them to the Patreon, I was just thinking, I was like, man, like a week or two ago, Joe Rogan got in trouble for thinking that leftists starting the fires.
We thought lasers.
We thought lasers were.
We thought that there was like a neutron bomb. we thought that there were satellite guided lasers starting the California.
We thought that there was a big drone with a magnifying glass on it.
And do you know why I thought that? Because I saw one video on Twitter, and I was like, it's right there.
Yeah. Well, who would have gone through the trouble?
Yeah, it doesn't make any. Nobody would lie about that. It's an absurd lie. But to my point, what was I saying? Just basically, you get people in power. You get dirt on them, you get evidence of them in compromising positions, and that way you can always keep them. Those are the true checks and balances, dude. Is Polaroids of you with somebody that you shouldn't be with. You know? I just think that's how it works.
Yeah, that's how they got Gandhi.
That's how they got Gandhi, dude. That's how you got Gandhi.
Yeah. I should be frank here. I'm an intelligence asset.
Right.
And 1,000 years old.
Well, wait, when do you think Gandhi was alive?
Like 100 years ago.
No.
It
wasn't Gandhi alive. Gandhi was alive like...
He was alive till like the 50s or something, right?
Was he?
I don't know.
Because I thought maybe you thought Gandhi was like 1,000 years old, and I was gonna be like, fair, I did too. But he had he had like glasses and shit.
Yeah, I figured Gandhi was doing his thing like 1850s or something.
No, I think it was in the 20th century. I believe it was in the 1900s that he was doing his thing.
Oh, well, good for him.
Yeah.
You know, when you're so old, it's easy to lose track. Yeah, they actually caught me jacking off to the first child pornography. It was on a stone tablet. And then someone else etched into a tablet a picture of me doing it.
Yeah.
And I've been a slave ever since.
Well, they tricked you. They had just drawn a pussy, and in the middle of you jacking off to it, they drew a little girl around it, and they were like, got you. And you're like, fuck, dude.
Got you. This is going to be illegal someday.
Fuck. Yeah, as soon as we establish common law.
We're working on this thing called the Magna Carta, and it's going to put a stop to that right quick.
Yeah.
I wonder what year the first age of consent law was.
I would imagine, I feel like the early 1900s. Sometime after child labor.
Yeah, I mean, I think probably for like most of history, it was just like a general like rule of thumb of like, like if they are not like fertile,
ovulating.
Yeah.
I don't even think that's true, because you have people being married off when they were like I think Sacagawea was like, I don't even know
like
if she was
9 or something.
Something like, I don't even know if she was a teen, but she did.
Didn't
have a baby.
Muhammad have a bunch of like baby wives or whatever?
Are we getting into Prophet Muhammad, dude? I don't know if we should be slandering the Prophet Muhammad.
I don't know
in
anything.
The last 5 minutes of the podcast.
We have an already very contentious episode. We're behind 2 different paywalls right now.
Right, I'm pretty sure.
Which actually makes it twice as likely that this could breach.
I do think the Prophet Muhammad might have been messing around with some pre-K sniz.
I think so.
But
but he was a great man.
It was a different time. It was the desert. I don't know why that matters.
The climate. Look, we live in the desert, and this town's full of pedophiles. So
there's actually definitely something to it. Yeah, we do have a bunch of Mohammeds running around this town.
Something about the heat, that dry heat.
Damn, dude.
You go outside and you're like, whoo, it's a hot one.
Ooh.
Oh, I better cool off in some boy pussy.
Yeah.
Take a nice refreshing dip. I don't know what this voice is.
Yeah.
That is a flawless impression of Steven Spielberg.
They just have a boy on ice. They just have they open up a cooler and there's just like a boy's arm sticking out of it, and he just like grabs it. He's like, "Come on now." Whoo, okay. Like
it's like a tent breacher or something.
Yeah, he's wiping his brow with a boy's cock and ball. It's like, oh, I say, whoo, he is testing me today. It is a hot one today.
That's how they invented popsicles, because they wanted to like ease people into the idea
of sucking a cock. There wasn't enough cold boy cock to go around, so they invented popsicles to tide you over.
Yeah.
Come on, everyone, come on now. Come grab yourself a little red rocket. Almost as good as a real thing.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know this about me, but my dick is red, white, and blue. From different levels of circulation throughout it.
From a truly botched circumcision.
Just the worst fucking circumcision ever.
Just ridiculous bruising. Just tears of bruising.
Even the doctor was like, is anyone going to know? Is anyone going to notice? Is it too late to make this one a girl?
If you... fuck.
Yeah, they do the intersex thing with me, but I was just fully a man.
Yeah, he just went too hard on the circ. He really put his shoulder into that circ.
Yeah, he was not following like the table saw rules. He was leaning over it.
Yeah,
the piece slipped.
He cut off the tip of his own finger in the circ. He didn't forget to cut away.
He sewed that back into it. It's like, all right, that's gonna be the clit. Is my own finger,
my own thumb.
This is a wretched episode.
No, this is a good one, dude.
No, I mean just like reprehensible.
I can't wait to cut the clip for this one. This is a good first Patreon one, dude. To let the people know what they're getting.
Not too spicy with the clip.
Oh, no. I got one from the beginning that I'm going to pick. No, I'm not. It would be insane if I just picked the Sanctimonious.
It's just like, fuck you, Brody Reed.
Yeah, if it was just...
How dare you question my killer joke?
It was just...
Well, guess what, Brody? I have assembled a lot of secondhand information about you that I'm not sure how true it is. And I'm going to say it all on mic.
Yeah, is he a millionaire? Where did you hear that?
Well, I know he did an episode about like how he like lost an $8 million inheritance, which from the sound of it basically sounds like he tried to reconnect with his dad right before he died, and his dad saw through it and didn't leave him the money.
Oh, nice.
Which, like, sick. Killer move.
Good on you, Mr. the Senior Reed. Nice.
Yeah. Honestly, like, if I'm dying and my kids are open micers, I'm writing them out of the will.
That you cannot give those kids money. They're just going to do more comedy. It's like a junkie on the street.
Yeah, except, like, I don't know what the fuck my endowment to them is going to be. It's like
nothing.
It's like you only get $5 out of the Robin Hood.
And my speakers are being buried with me like a pharaoh.
Bury with me with my 3 screens so I can game in hell.
Oh, I think that's the episode, buddy.
I think so.
All right, I'll see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
See ya.
Knock, knock, open up, it's me, the crazy, shady, faded fucker, so rock the G. See you later, make a baby, lead her on in peace. Only time I give a fuck is for my own release. That's why I own these streets. Straight up, portfolio, showing growth, fuck a pay cut. Yeah, you know I stay slut. Catch me in the spot, looping up for the self-suck. Oh fuck, I busted already, I'm coming bucket so heavy. My dream of cream coming steady, now my mouth open, I'm ready. I'm talking solo, heavy petting on a Friday night. That's talking bashing the bishop, more like Nantucket's delight. I'm taking all the time I need to do it just right. Got my candles in the fishnets cause it's on tonight. Oh, that's right, it's time to fillet. No need to debate me, I suck until I go ooh-wee and spray my white pee-pee. I got that ski.